Goalkeeper, junior, Evan Woodley. Defense, senior number 6, Jack Joseph. Forward, junior number 7, Davis Hackenmuller. Midfield, senior number 9, Captain Ryan Lennertz. Forward, senior number 10, Captain Derek Siet. Midfield, senior number 11, Emilio Villasenor. Defense, sophomore number 12, Jake Sondag. Midfield, junior number 13, Captain Michael Johnson. Defense, junior number 15, Alex Newton. Defense, senior number 17, Captain Daniel Redland. Midfield, sophomore number 21, Blake Prouty. The Wildcats assistant coaches are E.K. Hanan and Dave Bland. The head coach of the Eagan Wildcats is Josue Botuli. Ladies and gentlemen, your Eagan Wildcats.
Welcome back for the second leg of our soccer doubleheader here with South Suburban Soccer action involving the Prior Lake Lakers visiting your Eagan Wildcats. We had the girls' game earlier. Now it's the boys' turn here under the lights at Eagan Stadium, Eagan, Minnesota, on the campus of Eagan High School. And with an award-winning ETV crew, I am joined by my broadcast. My name is Nathan Cron. I'm joined by my broadcast partner, Skip Newton. And Skip, the Wildcats did something last Thursday that they had not done all season. Win a game? No, they had won a game or two this season. In fact, we'll talk about their record as the evening progresses. But they did something they haven't done before this year. They came from behind. They went down early and managed to win against a quality Lakeville North team 3-2. Has to generate a lot of momentum going into the section playoffs, despite the fact that they have 3 games this week.
Yeah, it's a big week for the Wildcats. They have an opportunity to continue their unbeaten streak. They haven't lost a game in their last 4 with 3 wins and 1 draw in those 4 games. 5-1 in the conference, and like you said, they've got 3 games with the makeup game Saturday morning at 10 o'clock against Lakeview South because that game was cut short due to lightning, even though the Wildcats were 4 minutes away from halftime and had a 2-0 lead. But tonight they play the 9th place Prior Lake Lakers, an opportunity for hopefully Eagan to continue that unbeaten streak and keep the momentum going, with their last 2 games being Rosemount and then the aforementioned Lakeview South.
Wildcats indeed 5-1 in the South Suburban Conference. A win against Rosemount might see them to depending on how the other results fall, might see them to a conference title. They have the head-to-head over Eastview, so maybe they would actually win a conference title, depending on how that shakes out. In the section, they are 4-1. Prior Lake in Section 2 AAA rather than 3 AAA, so they're not in the Wildcats section. But both teams will be looking for this game to give them momentum, as the Wildcats will have Rosemount on Wednesday, and as you say, the replay for Lakeville South on Saturday. Big game, big opportunity here for these Wildcats, and the momentum out of that Lakeville North game, you have to think is definitely going to buoy them.
Yeah, like you said, the Wildcats actually hold the destiny in their hands, even though they're 4 points out of first place behind Rosemount, because they play on Wednesday. Should they win out these last 3 points, that would give them 9 points. That would more than make up for the 4 deficit. Yeah, and they could be conference champs. Of course, the head coach, Josue Butili, has already said not his goal. He wants to be section champs. He wants to get this team into the state tournament, which I appreciate. But it would be fun still to win the conference.
Winning anything at any level of competition is an important thing for any sports team. So the Wildcats are in blue with white numbers, white trim moving from left to right on your screen. Lakers wearing white with dark numbers. And Newton, Redland, Joseph, and Sondag are your back 4. Junior Evan Woodley getting the start between the sticks for the Wildcats. Blake Prouty there pressuring the Lakers in the corner. It earns an early foul. The aforementioned Blake Prouty in the center of the field along with Michael Johnson. Emilio Villasenor. And Davis Hackenmuller with Hannon Axelrod, the freshman, and senior captain Derek Siet up front. Villasenor sends this down towards Matheson. Check it, that is McVetti. And if there's one thing that the Prior Lake Lakers have not done a lot of this year, is that is score goals. Only have a handful of goals for and a handful of goals against, so they don't give up too many. They don't put too many in, so early start very important here for the Wildcats. See it, wins it, tries to play it back to Lennertz. It goes wide.
Would like to see the Wildcats get off to a fast start. I know they came from behind in the last game, which was encouraging as they yielded a goal in the first minute to their opponent on Thursday. But tonight would like to see them jump out to that lead and see if they can't, take advantage of the fact that they are playing a team that's, 9th in the conference out of 10 teams. So would really like to not have to bring things down to their level, and let's take care of business and get ready for Rosemount on Wednesday.
Davis Hackenmuller has definitely stepped up to become a scoring threat. Now he goes rambling down the right side, looks for Siet in the middle. Siet gets a left foot to it. It's in on McVetti.
Pass from Davis Hackenmuller, the shot on goal by Derek Siet.
Nicely done. Derek Siet showing a good bit of skill there. Hackenmuller served it in, and on the volley, Siet just hammered it. But McVetti equal to the task.
Nice job there by Hackenmuller with that beautiful cross right to Siet, who had it measured up, just couldn't quite get enough on it.
Siet on a run down the line. Now he's got some opportunities. Crosses it towards the middle. Johnson was making a run, but stopped his run a little bit early. There's a beautiful ball across for Villasenor. Villasenor is onside. He sends it all the way wide. Oh my goodness, Emilio Villasenor.
Goal kick, Prior Lake.
I laugh a little because I feel like there's one every game for Villasenor where he knows I should have scored and he can't connect, and the shirt comes up over his head in frustration. I think that was the one for this game. Of course, last game had one of those that looked like it was just a slam dunk goal, but he made up for it later with, I believe, the go-ahead game winner, the third goal, and also did so in Burnsville with a hat trick that night. So hopefully this is a sign of things to come where he misses one he should have had, but then comes back to get one later.
Well, nicely done by Siet on the outside of his foot. It falls for Villasenor. Villasenor now gets it on his right foot. He's going to square and try to get it on. And Villasenor, as you said, Skip Newton, before he scored the game winner against Lakeville North, did miss a yawning net as Hackenmuller makes a run to the end line. He stays in bounds. The ball gets played back out into touch. Exciting stuff here by the Wildcats. Early on, we're only a few minutes into this game, and already we're seeing some real flashes of creativity offensively from the Wildcats.
Another great example of that Hackenmuller speed. He loves to take people on the outside, especially when he's on the right side of the field to his strong foot. Did a great job there beating his defender around the corner. Just couldn't quite connect on that negative pass to see it.
Well, we've said it several times this season. It's the kind of thing you'd like to see 5 or 6 times because you know the Wildcats will be successful eventually. Villasenor pinpoint passing tonight. I see it lays it out for Lennertz. Lennertz giving it a run. Now he has it in on his left foot. Puts it on McVetti. McVetti deflects it. Nicely done by McVetti. I thought for sure that was going to be. That was a solid scoring opportunity for Ryan Lennertz.
Nice job by Lennertz there to beat his man in a one-on-one outside to set up that shot. Eagan continues to put on pressure here.
Wildcats controlling a little bit there in the midfield before being dispossessed. Now they get it back. Joseph uncharacteristically gives it away. Falls for Redlin, who pooches it forward. Here's an opportunity for Hackenmuller. He's going to win that race into the corner. Now what's he going to do with it? Serve it in. Looking for Hannon Axelrod with a beautiful header. Oh my goodness. Now check that. That's not Hannon Axelrod. That is Ryan Lennertz.
Header on goal by Ryan Lennertz, number 9, saved by Rylan Matheson.
But Ryan Lennertz flashing the Air Jordan skills high in the air. What a beautiful header right on frame, Skip Newton.
Yeah, he had that one measured and timed perfectly. Got up and on top of the ball as you want to do when you're striking a header onto goal. If you don't, of course, you're going to sky that ball over the net. He just unfortunately happened to hit it right at the goalkeeper. If that thing is near either corner, he hit that with enough power. That's easily the first goal.
Second game of our doubleheader between the Lakers and the Wildcats. Of course, the Wildcat girls defeated the Lakers 3-0 earlier this evening. A game you saw here on ETV and, of course, available on the ETV YouTube channel. Last year's tilt between these two teams was a close run affair, even though the Wildcats had the majority of offensive pressure. The Prior Lake defense was very, very stingy until Captain Nicholas Cron was able to float one by and slam one home off from Derek Seat to give the Wildcats a 1-0 victory. But it was a close run thing for the Wildcats. The Wildcats would definitely, dearly like to make sure that that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, we talked a couple of times during the girls' victory, another shutout for the girls' varsity squad, that they could afford to have a really close game, which I'm sure we'll get, a hard-fought game against Rosemont on Wednesday. I don't think the boys are in the same place. I would have no problem with a convincing win here tonight.
Yes, absolutely not. No, I mean the boys team has had 1-goal games against Eastview, 1-goal victory against Eastview, a 1-goal victory against Apple Valley in the last 2 seconds, a 1-goal victory against Lakeville North late in that second half. They've had their share of close games. Right now, you'd like to see the Wildcats demonstrate real mastery of both the ball and of skills as Prouty makes a run. Beautifully done, finds Seat. And back for Prouty. Prouty's onside. He's going to have an opportunity with his right foot. Sends it on. McBetty with a nice job.
For number
Nice save.
21, Blake Prouty.
Keeps it
It's
in
on
the air.
goal. Save, Ryland Matheson.
Boy, the boys' passing tonight is really spot on. They are connecting passes. They're putting them in great opportunities and giving their teammates a chance to run on to those balls and hit them in stride and really create a number of scoring opportunities. And here's yet another one.
Hackenmuller's got an opportunity, and he slides it home. Davis Hackenmuller set it up and knocked it down.
Another brilliant chance there for the Wildcats. This time they finally finish as Hackenmuller puts it in the near side on the ground. Just hard enough to get it past the foot of the goalkeeper for Prior Lake. An awesome start for the Wildcats.
I think the assist is, I think it's going to go to Derek Seat. We'll have to wait for the official scorer to give us the heads up, but what a brilliant finish, splitting two defenders. Hackenmuller leaving no doubt. He was on a mission. I mean, you could tell that his body language was players want to score. Davis Hackenmuller was driven on that play. He was going to let nothing interfere with his ability to slam that into the net. I need to make a correction. I've been calling the goalie McBetty. It is actually number 0, Ryland Matheson. And forgive me for calling the wrong name. From up here, it looked like a number 1 on his jersey, not the number 0.
For the Wildcats, number 7.
Scoring for the Wildcats, number 7, Davis Hackenmuller in the 9th minute.
Number 2, Derek Seat.
And Derek Seat does indeed get the assist, so he leads the team in assists and goals. But Davis Hackenmuller doing a nice job of closing that gap.
Goal scored by Davis Hackenmuller.
Well, and you mentioned that Hackenmuller looked hungry on that play and on a couple of minutes and rushes before that. I really think he's looked hungry to score for the last couple of weeks. He has really stepped up his game. I think he was getting frustrated early in the season, not because of poor play, but because he couldn't finish. And he has such a deadly shot. He's starting to find those finishing opportunities, and he's taking advantage of it. That is a huge thing for the Wildcats going into sections after this final week. They need other guys to step up and score. We've been seeing more of that lately.
Jack Joseph getting a talking to by our center referee, Nural Vang, who did not caution Joseph, but might have. That was a hard challenge on the far side of the field. And Joseph will have to be on probably on double secret probation for the remainder of this match to avoid a caution. But nicely done by the center referee to try to have a conversation with a player rather than. And now we're going to have.
Center referee stops the clock.
We're going to have coaches sent back to the technical area. Prior Lake coaches had come well out of the technical area. And I think the Eagan coach, Jose Butuli, had also come out of the technical area, very close to the scorer's table.
Yeah, I was watching on the monitor here and could not get close enough to read the lips, but the Prior Lake coach, it looked like he was talking to Eagan, and it didn't look like it was in any sort of anger or being upset. I mean, they smile on his face that they were conversing about something, but clearly the head referee had said, no, you need to get back to your bench.
Well, it's always smart. I mean, the center referee has to maintain control of the match, and so it's always smart to make sure that coaches don't think that they can come out of their technical area regardless of whether they're being friendly or dissenting. So I certainly understand the center referee's need to maintain control over the match. In any event, the Wildcats find themselves up 1-0. Sondag wins it, finds Siet. Oh, there's a beautiful ball back to Derek Siet. Derek Siet's going to have it on his left foot. Is Matheson going to get to it? He does. Matheson alertly came off his line. You have a sense that Derek Siet might have been feasting had Matheson sat back.
Play for the Lakers.
It was a nice job there by the center back, the one that was pressuring Siet there. I fully expected Siet to pull away from him and make that a clean breakaway, but he stayed right on his hip, and it made it a little bit more difficult for him to control the ball.
One thing we've seen early in this game that we did not see as much in the girls' game earlier is the quickness in terms of quick passing to an offensive player and the movement down the field. The boys are really doing it well tonight, Skip Newton.
Yeah, the transition for Wildcats has been outstanding. They've transitioned from defense to immediately putting the ball in a position to attack, and it's been the difference thus far in the game. It's why not only do they have the 1-0 lead, but why they're leading overwhelmingly in shots.
Hackenmuller loses it, but comes back, does a nice job. Here's an opportunity for the Lakers, and Evan Woodley smartly off his line as the center referee played the advantage. Smartly done by the center referee. He signaled advantage with both arms, helping out your commentators. As Hackenmuller had committed a foul. You imagine if the referee will probably, at the next dead ball, have a quick conversation with Hackenmuller to make sure he understands that he can't do that. Sometimes players think they can get away with things if they're not immediately whistled down. This ball falls for Villasenor, and Villasenor and Leonard's connect on that side. It's mishit there by the Lakers. Anytime Derek Siet has an opportunity to move up the field, he's going to do that. Oh, nice ball by Prouty. Johnson's pass intercepted. Ball over the top. Newton's going to give chase as well as the Lakers. Newton's going to continue to take that to the sideline. Nicely done there by Alex Newton on the sideline. He's going to get tackled from behind. If I'm honest, I think the Prior Lake player took definitely the worst end of that.
Yeah, it's one thing to trip a guy and get called for the fault. It's another thing to have the guy to land on your head.
Yes, that was probably not part of the plan.
Fortunately for him, he took out one of the smaller guys on the team. A little less weight falling on the noggin.
Hammerschmidt will probably be less likely to do that, want to do that next time. In any event, the game is certainly a bit wide open. I mean, you have to say from a neutral standpoint, it's been entertaining as now the Lakers are starting to threaten a little bit as they're coming into the game. The ball goes into touch. Lakers' last match was last Thursday against Apple Valley. It was a 0-0 draw, which means they played all 80 minutes plus 10 minutes of overtime, and neither team could manage to scramble the ball in. Of course, these Wildcats coming off a huge victory against a very good Lakeville North team, 3-2. Lakeville North not overly pleased with that result, given that they were ahead at one point, I believe 2-1. It's 2-1. See, it's going to give chase there.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier how the Wildcats had to come from behind. They had to come from behind actually twice in that game. We were down 1-0 early with a goal yielded off a corner kick in the first minute, came back to tie it, and then gave up a goal in the last minute of the first half, unfortunately, but scored 2 goals in the last 15 minutes to take that 3-2 victory home, a huge win for the Wildcats.
Well, at the beginning of the season, Coach Josue Butuli was curious as to what he had. He's a new coach to the program, a new coach to the team, and he has to make a decision as to what, as to what kind of team he has, what kind of skills they have, what kind of mental toughness they have, and things like that. And winning close games against Apple Valley, Eastview, Lakeville North have to say, you have to think that this team is mentally tough.
Yes, and he's spread the playing time around quite a bit. I mean, he's not afraid to start different lineups. It feels like we haven't seen the same set of starters 2 games in a row for quite some time. That can cause some concern maybe with the players not knowing when are they going to get their time. They have to play really good soccer to keep their time. The positive side of that is everybody's getting a chance to play, and that could really pay dividends as you get into sections. You can start going with the guy that's that's playing a little bit better in that particular game. Go with the hot hand or foot, as it were.
Mischke for the Lakers is going to stand over this with an in-swinging left foot. It's played into, nicely done by Prior Lake as Joseph clears. Prior Lake forward was lurking. And if Joseph hadn't gotten to that ball, that Prior Lake forward was certainly high enough in the air to win that ball.
Substitution upcoming. Now the substitution for
the one thing from a playing time perspective that Coach Josue Boutley has been very consistent with is once the starters get in, you don't see a lot of subs for the first 20 to 25 minutes at least. You'll see the same lineup in there until he starts bringing guys in maybe with 15 minutes to go in the half.
Senior captain Derek Siet looking for Hackenmuller quickly. Takes one touch and then it's over to Hackenmuller as Woodley comes off and plays that off of his line. Nicely done that time by the junior keeper. Did you get a sense that the Prior Lake Lakers seem, at least in the early going of this game, seem to rely on pushing that back line and hitting through balls, not necessarily with build-up play. As Johnson wins that header, nicely done by Michael Johnson. Player as a junior captain you definitely want to see have good performances out of and a lot of intensity. Villasenor flashing some fancy boots. As now they find Joseph. Joseph's legs overrun the ball. He gets it back. Now he finds Leonards. Leonards crosses in with the left foot. It falls for Hackenmuller. Hackenmuller skies it. There was contact.
Shot by Davis.
Certainly was contact on Hackenmuller.
Out of bounds.
Center referee not having any of it. He's not seeing what he would call a foul. Contact did come afterwards.
Nice sportsmanship there by Ford, number 11, making sure Hackenmuller's okay. Another great scoring chance, too. A tough one time that he put over, but Hackenmuller, again, right in perfect position to slam that one home.
Well, just making the run. Oh, and here's a beautiful ball over the top. If Matheson doesn't come off, now there's a potential challenge as Matheson was well out of his net. Leonards almost had that ball on his left foot. There's Leonards again. Now it's a stop and go. That's another stop and go. Leonards wins it again. Plays it out to the top. Johnson's going to have to really hustle to get to that ball. He's not able to. Now Prouty's going to flash some skills. Prior Lake player definitely on the line there of being offside. Comes back to Prior Lake. As Joseph falls down. And that's going to be served in. Up, and it goes across everybody and out of play.
Fortunately for the Wildcats their defenders were goal side, so even though they couldn't play the ball or missed it, there was no Laker attacker there to punch that one home, and that one falls harmlessly into touch for a goal kick.
Of course, the boys also start playoffs next week. They play, as you mentioned in the promo, in the introduction skip, they play on Wednesday as we have another foul here against the Wildcats. And the Prior Lake Lakers are kick around the midfield dot. They've got 2 games left, and then, of course, next Tuesday they will start section playoffs. Imagine that the Wildcats will, barring an unlikely series of events this week, will probably be a top 2 seed in Section 3 AAA, which means they will have a home game for the quarterfinals. Not sure if that ball gets flicked in towards goal. He's off. The Laker was offsides.
Prior Lake offside.
Prior Lake forward, and I'm going to pick out his number if I can.
Offside Lakers, indirect free kick for the Wildcats.
And it was number 8, Sam Kohler, who was offside on the second ball. But to pay attention to the ETV website and to the Twitter feed, as we hope to be able to bring you ETV coverage of both the boys and girls high school Section 3 AAA quarterfinals. Can't guarantee that that's going to happen. The Minnesota State High School League has come up with some rules, recent rules that might cause some challenges in that regard. Nice play by Redland, the senior captain, to keep the ball in front of him. Now Redland gets dispossessed as he and Newton collide to make a Laker sandwich. Villasenor quickly finds Leonards. Leonards gets the ball off his feet very quickly for Siet. And just like how quickly they get the ball off their feet, these forwards are looking for each other with through balls, with quick passes. And I think it really opens up the game for them, Skip. As you know, I think if you know, it's so much different. I say in some ways it's different than what we've seen in the past, even with past Eagan soccer teams.
Yeah, the first 10 minutes I thought, really controlled by the Wildcats as they came out playing fast, connecting a lot of passes, really creating scoring opportunities. These last 10 minutes, Prior Lake starting to step into it a little bit better, becoming more into the flow and creating their own chances. We see if Eagan can respond.
Wildcats' last match was that win over Lakeville North. A very intense affair as Lakers are dispossessed. Now there's two Wildcats on top of each other. Hackenmuller takes a little bit of a rub. Now he says, I'm going to see if I can flash the skills around you. I'm going to go right by you if I can. Nice defense there by Hanad Omar, number 18. He's it off for Sondag. Sondag's going to, and Hackenmuller will draw the foul. So a nice free kick here, opportunity for the Wildcats. It's going to have their second foul here on the Lakers.
Free kick upcoming for the Wildcats.
Thanks to everybody joining us in the Prior Lake area. If you're a Prior Lake fan,
7, Davis Hackenmuller on the kick.
Let's go, Lakers!
And of course, hello to grandmas and grandpas all over the country as you watch here on ETV. Mueller serves it in, looks for Siet. Can't find him, but Villasenor was lurking. I like the opportunity there by Villasenor. Here's a great run to the outside by the Lakers. Redland is giving chase. Newton is giving chase. And in the end, the Lakers just not able to steer it on goal. And that was Carlson, the senior captain. And that was quite a run, Skip Newton.
Yeah, good display of speed there by Alex Newton, the center back, keeping right on the hip. Again, applying that pressure. You don't always have to win the ball, but if you're pressuring hard enough and fast enough, it's really hard for that forward to get a good shot, as we saw there.
Yeah, and so key not to commit a foul there because, of course, that could be, could be a cautionable offense. It wouldn't be a red card or a dog's or anything like that, but it could be a cautionable offense and certainly might eliminate your ability to plead ignorance later in the game. So nice there by both Redland and Newton to not commit the foul and do a nice job of harrying Carlson and forcing him to put the ball out of play.
Substitution for the
16 and a half minutes to go here for the Wildcats. Mikolo Jones is going to replace Prouty in the center midfield. So now we're going to slowly start to see some of the substitutions here in the later part of the half. Forwards and midfielders are usually substituted, but the way they're playing right now, if you're Coach Botuli, you might leave them in a few minutes longer as Hackenmuller is having himself a whale of a game, and Sietz looks very, very dangerous. Mikolo Jones, fresh off the bench, getting involved very quickly. We're going to have a foul here. What's the referee saying? Not sure any of the players are 100% sure what he's.
I think he's calling that on Davis after that cross.
I think you're correct. Or did it hit? It may have hit him. It may have hit the referee, Skip. And I think that's maybe what happened.
That explains
so
the
a drop ball was in order, and the Wildcats are going to concede another corner here. So that's the second corner of the first half. Opportunity for the Prior Lake Lakers. And if you're Prior Lake, this is exactly what you want. You want an opportunity to steer this on goal and test Woodley.
From the far side on the kick.
Remember earlier in the half, on the last corner, the Lakers got up high. The Wildcats will have to counter. Comes floating in. Leonard's plays it away. Nicely done that time. Comes out to the Wildcats. Oh, now here's an opportunity. Leonard chips that ahead. A bit aspirational for Derek Seat. Derek Seat is fast. He is undeniably quick. But he's not F-35 Raptor quick. He's not going to catch that one. Ryan Leonard's just a little bit too heavy.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Leonard's had some space. He could have continued to attack with the dribble, but I think he was trying to catch Seat in the quick counterattack. Unfortunately, Seat was yielding about 15 yards on the defender, so that would have been a tough ask.
Well, there's some players that can make up 15 yards, and Seat can make up a lot of yards, but that was just a little too much. You know, one thing you like to see though, Skip Newton, is one thing we've occasionally criticized the boys for, we've seen in their play, is a bit of selfish play, trying to dribble through three defenders, trying to take people on when there are passing options and opportunities available. Tonight, the Wildcats are playing unselfish soccer. They are absolutely distributing the ball to their teammates and creating opportunities.
Yeah, the decision making has been top notch, really. There's been no moves where they shot the ball when I thought they had a better pass, and vice versa, right? They're taking shots when they're there when they absolutely should be.
We'll see it pressuring the defense, and we'll see. Is that a corner or a deep throw? It is going to go for a corner. This will be the first Wildcat corner.
Number 5, Hannon Axelrod.
And an Axelrod will check in now for Ryan Leonards.
That was a really nice play by the defender there for Prior Lake. I didn't catch the number, but he was under significant pressure from Seat, and if he didn't win that ball, Seat was all alone in the box.
Hackenmiller, the right foot outswinger, looks for Jones. Oh, what a brilliant save by Matheson on the line. Oh, that was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. There were two great saves by Matheson on the line. Mikolo Jones had a header. Hannon Axelrod had a follow-on. It was absolutely brilliant.
Axelrod's going to lose some sleep tonight over that one. All he had to do was get that thing off the turf, and it's a goal, and he kicked it low. Could not get under the ball. Normally, you don't want to do that because you're at risk of putting it over the net. But in this case, the goalkeeper was down and just needed to put it over the top.
For the Wildcats, Melvin Kamara, number 2.
Melvin Kamara, number 2, you might have heard coming on for the Wildcats. So is number 4, Evan Galachin, and Tariq Salim.
And for the Lakers into the game,
taking the place of Joseph on the far side.
Back in is lane 4, number 40.
So back line of Sondag, Salim, Redlin, and Newton. And another corner now for the Wildcats, so they'll be their second of the half.
But back to that first corner, a great header by Mikolo Jones. He was absolutely robbed of a goal.
Their second.
I think it's served in again. And we're going to have a foul. I believe we are going to have a foul on the Wildcats. Yeah, we're going to have a foul on the Wildcats. Honestly, if I'm honest, Skip, I didn't see a foul there, but center referee Nural Vang disagreed. Melvin Kamara comes up with the ball, the hero of the Apple Valley game, scoring with just 3 seconds to go. Look at Kamara flashing some skill around the corner, but nicely done that time by the defender to recover. That's Castillo, a sophomore defender, doing a nice job of dispossessing Kamara. I think we're going to have more substitutions, and yes, we are. Coming on right now, we've got Charlie Burke and Jacob Tran checking in for the Wildcats.
Number 3. Going off, Derek Seat, number 10. Jake Sondag, number 12.
So it'll be interesting to see with Coach Butuli going to his bench. Will the Wildcats continue their run of play, their style of play, their efficiency so far, or will we see some changes in that? How will it impact the play on the field?
Yeah, unless I'm missing something, the only starter amongst the non-goalkeepers still. Nope, there's 2 starters. I believe Redlin and Newton, the 2 center backs, are the ones that are in there. Otherwise, everyone else is a bench player at this point. Nice cross.
Beautiful cross by Jacob Tran. Salim on the far side gets it to his foot, tries to slide it into Burke. Can't quite do it. Galachin in a lot of traffic.
Nice little poke, yes.
Good recovery there by the Wildcats. Kamara trying to flash some skills, but getting stymied there on the far side by Carlson. Nicely done. I think the ball went into touch. So the Wildcats will have a throw up the line, probably about the equivalent of the football 33-yard line. But this will be a key. Can the Wildcats, who have dominated the half generally in terms of scoring opportunities, can they find a way to get yet another goal? As that ball goes off of the defender, it's going to be an even deeper throw here for the for the Wildcats. Tran finds Galachin, back to Tran. Tran serves it in, hits Kamara in the chest. Kamara pokes it around the defender, nicely done. That ball's cleared to the middle. I'm not sure the defender was looking to do that. Charlie Burke's going to battle for it there, and now it's finally cleared to safety. And now the Lakers will counter. This is what they wanted. This is how they think they're going to make their money tonight. Nicely done that time by Redland, slowing up Kohler.
Great job by Redland and his other defenders there to continue to back up and yield space to allow their midfielders time to hustle back and get back into the play there. The worst thing you want to do is step up aggressively and get beat, and all of a sudden you've turned a 3-on-2 or a 3-on-3 into a 3-on-1. So nicely done by the seasoned defenders on the back line.
Substitutions for the Wildcats.
And now we'll have
Back
two.
in the game is Blake Prouty, number 21.
I think
On
we'll
the field
have
now for the Wildcats, Nate McKinnon, number 23.
McKinnon and Walcott come in to
number
replace
24.
Redland and Newton at the center back positions.
Really nice to see Nate McKinnon back in the game. I think he's been dealing with some injuries off and on lately, and in my opinion was playing the best soccer of his career when all of a sudden he was unavailable for quite a few games, kind of out of nowhere. So nice to see him back.
Wildcats off in an offside position. Tyler Walcott also being very productive this year, certainly playing some good defense, and did nick a goal against Shakopee for his first varsity goal.
Following the Wildcats free kick, Prior Lake.
We also saw Blake Prouty return. And just on cue, Prouty decides to head the ball and finds Hannon Axelrod. Axelrod around the corner. Nicely done. So now he has an opportunity. I'm not sure he knew that he had an opportunity. I don't know. I don't know that he knew that the defender had fallen down, Skip Newton. He had all sorts of time, and instead he was trying to play as if he was being defended.
Yeah, that's one of those, perhaps an experience type thing, as a freshman, not as much experience at this level where, you get an opening, you gotta make a quick decision, and the decision there would have been either shoot the ball or try to cross it right away. Instead, he continued to try and use foot skills and allowed the defense to take him on.
Now there'll be a foul called on Axelrod. I'm not sure. I'm really confused. Unless it was an offside, it might have been an offside call that I missed.
Free kick, Lakers.
No, it was an offside call as the referee's hand is up, demonstrating an indirect free kick. So there was an offside call. Hannon Axelrod was offside. It's an opportunity for the Lakers over the top. Walcott's giving chase, but he's outnumbered there on that side. Evan Woodley's going to have to come off his line, slide down, risk the turf burn, pick up some of those rubber pellets, and take control of the ball. Nicely done. Just over 6 minutes to go here in the first half. Wildcats 1, Lakers 0. Lakers come into this match 3-9-1. Wildcats 7-5-1. Wildcats with a 4-1 section record, and 5-1 in conference. As Skip Newton pointed out earlier, an opportunity for the Wildcats. If they win out, they will win a conference title, which is not something the Wildcats have done recent vintage. And you imagine if they win the conference title, they would probably get the 1 seed over conference and section rivals Eastview. It's an opportunity for Charlie Burke as Matheson gets knocked down by his own player. Opportunity here for the Wildcats. Jacob Tran jumps into it quickly. He's going to flash some skills, try to cross to the right foot. Comes in, Matheson nicely done, recovering. Quite the commotion in front of the net, Skip Newton, but nothing doing for the Wildcats.
Yeah, it was a nice job there by Tran to run that down and not let it get into touch. Knowing that Eagan was putting the pressure on and had guys in front of the net, you want to keep that down there and keep the pressure on. Unfortunately, here's a foul at midfield.
Lakers.
Has not been a dramatic change so far with the substitutions. There's not been a dramatic change in what the Wildcats have done as that ball gets flicked, cleared well across the box. Could not see who got a foot to it, but it goes out into touch, and the Wildcats somehow get that ball.
That was a good touch by the Wildcats. They had a couple of forwards behind that looked like they were going to be in position to make that play and put a shot on goal. So big play there by Eagan, preventing that one from getting any closer.
McKinnon in the corner. Going to concede the corner. So the third corner here for the Lakers. Lakers have one shot on net. Wildcats with 5.
Substitutions for Prior Lake. Back in the game, number 21, Noah Meshki. Into the game now for the Lakers is Elian Cuellar, number 19.
Have a in-swinging right foot from the near side of the field now.
It's a corner kick for
One thing to
Prior
note
Lake,
here
their
is
third.
I believe Redland's out of the game, and he is so good at using his head in these
On
situations.
the near side,
We'll see if that
Elian
becomes a
Cuellar,
factor on
19.
this corner.
Finds the Lakers' shoulder, and it comes back to Hewlett,
Goal kick
who sprays it
Wildcats.
out of bounds. The Lakers did get a shoulder to that ball, Skip Newton, and that's not a trend that you'd like to see if you're a Wildcat supporter. In any event, no harm, no foul. And the chance goes begging.
Final 3 minutes here, I think, are crucial for the Wildcats. They really need to get to halftime with a lead here. You don't want to give one up late and lose the momentum that you've built. If they can get a second goal, even better, of course, but I think Eagan would be perfectly happy taking a 1-0 lead into half.
Axelrod going to make his run on the far side. He's harassed there by a defender, and we're going to have a whistle, and Axelrod will draw the foul. Substantially more physical play in this game than we saw in the girls' game earlier. Boys are definitely beating and banging on each other.
It's foul on the Lakers. Free kick for the Wildcats. With
As
Blake
usual,
Crowdy,
nice
number
foot
21.
skills over there on the far touchline by Axelrod. That is definitely one of his strengths. It's going to be fun to watch his career develop. Again, just a freshman and getting better and better with every game.
Free kick played away nicely, smartly by the Lakers. Salim on the far side working with Prouty and Axelrod. Now it comes for Jones. Jones smartly sends it over for Tran. Tran's got an opportunity. He's looking for Burke in the middle, but didn't put enough on it. Tran waving his hand as if to say, I see, I screwed up, made my mistake. I think Burke wanted it in the air.
Which makes sense given his height.
Goal kick.
Ball out of bounds. Goal kick, Prior Lake.
For Prior Lake. Just under 90 seconds to go here in the half. 1-0 to the Wildcats. Got to be feeling pretty good about the way they've played here in this half. And like you said, Skip Newton, if they can get into halftime, here's a break by the Lakers. Nate McKinnon's going to have to run this one down. Ball gets played towards the middle, and it was a brilliant run. It was an absolutely brilliant run by the Lakers. Lane 4.
Wildcats.
But 4 after running 40, 45, 50 yards, just didn't have the ability to finish or put that on net.
Yeah, my guess is he could hear and feel the footsteps of Nate McKinnon coming up from behind. McKinnon did a great job after letting that ball get by him of hustling back, and again, just like we talked about earlier, applying pressure even though he wasn't able to get back all the way. The player knew he didn't have much time because McKinnon did a great job of hustling back and cutting off the angle.
One thing about the Wildcats, especially that back line, there's a substantial amount of speed back there. Wouldn't call them all track stars. I can't say that any of them are track stars like the say, the girls team where they truly are track stars, but there's a lot of speed between Joseph and McKinnon and Newton and even Redland with those long legs. As Tran has an opportunity, he's got only a small amount of time. That ball's going to get into touch, and that is halftime. Your halftime score here with an interesting half here for the Wildcats. Wildcats certainly playing well. Lakers hanging around. Wildcats 1, Lakers 0. Skip Newton, in terms of evaluation of the first half, what did we see from the Wildcats we liked, and what do we need to do? What do the Wildcats need to do better to extend this lead in the second half?
You know, offensively, I really like the passing and some precision passing. They're setting each other up very well to get shots on goal or to get crosses and opportunities. We've seen that result in a goal, of course, but also in several more scoring opportunities. Probably should have had a second goal, at least on that one play where Matheson made a couple of great saves, the second one already lying down after the header from Miklo Jones. Defensively, love how the back line's playing. They're not letting a whole lot through. The stuff that does get over their heads, they're typically the first one there. Evan Woodley's coming off the line to help them out as well. And in the midfield, again, they're controlling passes again in the midfield. The midfielders working really well with their attackers. What they need to do better in the second half just to ensure that they win, they have to finish more. We need more than one goal just to be safe, because you never know. One-goal games can scare you, right? When anything can happen, something goofy, a bad bounce, whatever. So I'd like to see, finish these opportunities. They've gotten better at that in a couple of previous weeks. They need to do that in the second half.
Well, we will step aside here for the halftime festivities. We're going to take a break and be back for the second half here in about 10 minutes. Here on ETV, score 1 to the Wildcats, 0 to the Lakers. We'll see you in about 10 minutes here on ETV.
Independent School District 196, Rosemont Apple Valley Eagan Schools supports the growing national movement toward a tobacco-free environment. Use of tobacco in district buildings, on district grounds, or at district events.
Cops and Bobbers is designed to offer opportunities for kids that may not have a chance to fish to come out to some local lakes in Eagan and experience some of the fisheries that we have. They'll be spending time out in the boats with some of our officers. They'll be spending time fishing from a pier behind us. And then they're also going to get to see what we do on a daily basis.
I came out to learn a little bit about fishing and talk to the police, see a little bit about how they interact with the community. It's a way to see that the police are good guys, that they care about the community and care about, making memories with family and with the community.
You might only see us on your worst day. This gets to show you that we are people. We're invested in this community, and it's a way for us to give back.
We need to connect with our youth a lot more. One of the best ways of doing that is this Youth Leadership Academy.
It's not like boring school presentations, it's informative and it's fun.
We went to a hotel and examined a mock crime scene, and we had to find pieces of evidence.
It was an outstanding event. It was an outstanding group of kids, just remarkable, and to be part of something like that, huge.
This is an important time for them when they are in high school and making important decisions in terms of what they're going to do, what they're going to study, but also how they can start contributing with their communities.
I know that no matter what field I go into, I will be a very good leader there because of this.
I go to the gym like every day. I usually utilize the free weights. I do some of the stationary equipment as well. I also utilize the indoor track. If you're an Eagan resident, do yourself a favor and check out the Eagan Community Center.
Cops and Bobbers is designed to offer opportunities for kids that may not have a chance to fish to come out to some local lakes in Eagan and experience some of the fisheries that we have. And they'll be spending time out in the boats with some of our officers. They'll be spending time fishing from a pier behind us. And then they're also going to get to see what we do on a daily basis.
I came out to learn a little bit about fishing and talk to the police, see a little bit about how they interact with the community. It's a way to see that the police are good guys, that they care about the community and care about, making memories with family and with the community.
You might only see us on your worst day. This gets to show you that we are people. We're invested in this community, and it's a way for us to give back.
Welcome back to Eagan High School, the campus of Eagan High School here in Eagan, Minnesota, for the second half of our second part of our doubleheader between the Eagan Wildcats and the Prior Lake Lakers. This is boys South Suburban soccer action with the Wildcats from Section 3 AAA and the Lakers from Section 2 AAA. Matching up, the Wildcats in blue with white letters, the right to left, the Lakers in white with dark numbers. And right now the score leading 1-0 to the Wildcats. Nathan Cron joining you again here for the second half with Skip Newton and our award-winning ETV cast crew. And we're going to see, looks to be the starting lineup. So Leonard's, Hackenmuller, Siet at the top with Prouty Johnson in the back as this ball's hoisted deep into the Prior Lake end. Maybe a throw here for the Wildcats. Redlin and Newton back at center back with Joseph and Sondag on the outside. We saw some very creative play here in the first half from these Wildcats as Newton plays it off his head. Now it finds another head. Newton gets it down to the turf. Nice tackle there by Prouty. Nicely done. Oh, we're going to have a foul here, though, against Prouty. So Lakers will have an opportunity, but we saw some wonderful creative play by the Wildcats, creating scoring opportunities. Lakers really, in some ways, fortunate not to be down by more than one goal in the first half, Skip.
Yeah, they had some outstanding goalkeeping in that first half to keep this just a one-goal game. I believe it's Matheson, number 0, Rylan Matheson in goal. A couple of plays in particular were a diving save on a Miklo header, and then the rebound right to Axelrod, who blasted it right into him while he's laying on the ground. Unfortunately, a golden opportunity there for Axelrod to get that second goal. What we'd like to see are the Wildcats come out with the same intensity and precision passing that we saw when they began the game, and they just put on some great pressure, especially in the first 10 minutes. If they can do that again, I'm sure they'll get a second goal here.
So Wildcats bringing on their 11 that started the first half and created some really good offensive pressure. Lakers with not nearly as much pressure, only 2 shots on goal so far for the Lakers. Although they have had a couple of nice runs, their offensive philosophy appears to be kicking the ball, long and letting forwards make big runs, which can be successful if the defense is caught napping. But so far, Redlin, Newton, et al. have been equal to the task. As a beautiful switch of the field finds Leonard's foot. Now finds Villasenor. Villasenor was looking, but couldn't quite connect. Johnson late to that ball. Now Sondag on the outside will find Hackenmuller. But it was just a beautiful ball from Hackenmuller all the way across the field through several defenders and finding Leonard's. Ryan Leonard's one of the senior captains on this team, number 9 there for the Wildcats on the lower part of your screen. The left foot that usually has the green light to shoot whenever he's available. As Newton has a little bit of a difficulty with it, but finds his teammate Redlin, who finds Villasenor.
Yeah, I think that was one of those chances where he had so much time that he just lost concentration, and it was almost too nonchalant. Fortunately, he recovered.
See it in the corner. Now he tries to switch his field and can't quite do it. Now he gets it back. He's taking on 2 defenders, sends it in towards goal. It'll be over for a goal kick.
Goal kick.
Was hoping Siet would be able to bounce that off of defender and earn the corner there. Golden opportunity to do so when you're pinned deep.
Well, Derek Siet leading this Wildcat team in both goals and assists. But the most impressive thing, if I'm honest, is his mentality, his composure, his leadership that he's shown this year. Derek Siet, a very, very passionate player, sometimes would become unmoored by the opposition fouling him or pushing him around, or lose his concentration as Hackenmuller makes a nice run down to the side, loses his footing. And both the assistant referee and the center referee are having none of that. But to finish the point on Siet, he's really grown into the role as a senior captain. And that's a skill that, regardless of how long you play soccer, will bode well in future years and as you proceed through life. In fact, against Prior Lake as a sophomore, Derek Siet was sent off with a red card. Now, as we look through the archives, he was actually red carded as a sophomore playing varsity soccer here for the Wildcats when they were at Prior Lake as a sophomore. So, and they, the Prior Lake players and coaching staff knew they could get Siet unmoored, and they rattled his cage. In any event, ball comes in. Joseph's having a little bit of difficulty with it as Redland steps to it now. Redland gets run over. Here's an opportunity for the Lakers, and there's a goal right over the top of Woodley. Woodley came off his line smartly, tried to take away as much of the net as he could, and the Lakers tie the game in the 46th minute.
Yeah, unfortunate defensive breakdown there for the Wildcats on the back line. Joseph got sucked over into the middle, and then the pass went to the open player on the right. No one could recover quickly enough, and a perfect shot just over the head and the outstretched arms of Woodley, but low enough to get under the crossbar for that game-tying goal.
We'll have to wait for the official announcement to see exactly which number is going to get credit for it. Hackenmuller is going to play it into the corner. It's going to go out for a goal kick. I'll check that. He's going to go for a corner. The assistant referee's signal was a little bit ambiguous there. As we have a tie game, the Wildcats now need to reassert control as Leonard steps over with his left foot. Leonard's with the left foot in swinging. It lands, finds Prouty. It's down on the ground. It's out again into touch for another corner kick.
Oh, a golden opportunity there for the Wildcats as that ball came in and was fielded and headed towards goal. Just couldn't quite get a touch to pound that one home. Let's see if the Wildcats can capitalize here.
Another for Leonards. And it's claimed by Matheson. Nicely done. Prior Lake fans, you might have heard, upset that the public address announcer hasn't announced their goal. A little unsure as to what they would have expected given that there were corner kicks upcoming. And now we're counting how many times you've announced a goal. So Prior Lake showing a bit of provincialism. Nice. Oh, absolutely got run. Oh, Eagan player absolutely run over. Contact from behind that was Redland, but nicely done.
Scoring for Prior Lake, number 8, Sam Kohler.
With Sam Kohler.
Number 15, Guillermo Montiero.
The assist to Montiero.
45th minute. The time of the goal, 44 minutes, 53 seconds. The Lakers goal
Hopefully
scored
the
by
Prior
Sam
Lake fans
Kohler.
will take some solace in the fact their goal's now been announced.
The time 44:53.
In any event, the ball comes back in and Woodley deals with that calmly. The Wildcats find themselves certainly in a dogfight here with Skip Newton because the Lakers have not scored this year. They've not scored a lot of goals. They've lost a lot of games where they've only scored one goal or fewer. In fact, a vast majority of the games they've played, they've not scored more than a single goal. So already they're in a good place. The Wildcats are going to need to really step to it here to try to get another one on the board.
Yeah, they've got plenty of time to recover, right? Just under 33 minutes to go. They do need to start connecting more passes. We've seen that part of their game slip a little bit here. Started to at the end of the first half and into the second half.
It was a nice run by Hackenmuller. Nicely done on the far corner. Check it, that was Villasenor on the far side. Now Hackenmuller with it. He's going to lose the ball into touch. We have a substitution here for the Lakers. It gives me an opportunity to thank our platinum sponsors for the Eagan High School Boys and Girls Booster Clubs, the Eagan Arms Public House, the Twin Cities Orthopedics, the Urgency Room, Wave Soccer Club, Willie's Edina Realty, and the Eagan Hockey Association. Thank you so much for your support of Eagan Soccer and allowing us to play these games. The Lakers have evened up this game, and now the Wildcats are going to be called upon to really step to this and really increase their intensity level.
As is usually the case with games, especially soccer, you see it also in hockey games as well. A goal can really be a momentum swing, and I think we're seeing that here. Prior Lake just seems to have a little bit of more speed to the ball, a little more aggression, the Wildcats absolutely need to counter and bring it back and get control and get some more scoring opportunities. They've had their chances. They've had more chances, but they need to capitalize and make that happen.
Offside here against the Lakers. First of the game.
Kicked a moving ball there.
Thank you, Skip. When my eyes had come all the way over to the middle of the field. So Redland will have to take this kick again.
Previous call was Prior Lake offside. Indirect free kick for the Wildcats.
Redland hoists it forward. It's over Siet. Siet with a great header. It's an opportunity. Matheson quickly off his line. You get the sense that Matheson has figured out that if he lets Siet or Hackenmuller run onto that ball, he's going to be in big trouble. It's a nice deflection here by Newton. Goes towards Prouty, but doesn't quite land where he wants it to go. Joseph dispossessed. There's a great cross to the inside, and Newton smartly and calmly plays that into touch. He concedes the corner, but does not give away a clean and easy shot on goal. Here's an opportunity here for the Lakers. Outswinging right foot.
Number 14 on the kick.
It ping-pongs around and it's in the net. Oh, it was not cleared. The Wildcats didn't reach the ball first and they didn't clear it. It was on the rebound. And the Lakers have struck here twice early in this second half. They now have the lead 2-1.
Wildcats caught flat-footed there defensively, kind of standing around watching. They made an initial play on the ball but didn't get it out. Player standing wide open took zero hesitation in slamming that one home. All of a sudden, what looked like a comfortable first half is looking into a dreadful second half.
Newton giving chase. Newton hit from, I don't understand. That's the second time an Eagan defender's been hit from behind.
An assisted goal scored by number 3, Ethan Mandrisky.
Mandrisky's going to get the
Is unassisted in the 51st minute.
credit for that.
Time of the goal is 50 minutes, 16 seconds.
That's the second time an Eagan defender's been hit in the back as they've been come back to play the ball and been knocked to the ground. First it was Redland, now it was Newton. I'm a little concerned that the referee's not going to make that call, because allowing a forward to hit a defender in the back and knock him down is going to be problematic as this game proceeds. It's going to become increasingly physical and increasingly violent. These are easy calls when a player's hit in the back. I just don't understand why the call doesn't get made. I'm sure he's got a reason, but I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm just relieved that the goal announcement was fast enough to appease the Prior Lake faithful. Not quick enough before, of course.
Yeah, apparently not. But as you say, it's certainly we're trying to be good hosts here. That's certainly the case. In any event, Johnson finds Villasenor, sends it back for Newton. Newton's going to, check it. That's Sondag. Sondag plays all the way back to Woodley. Villasenor tries to get a flick on. Hackenmuller forces that play out. That was curious why the Lakers, they had time and they probably had numbers. Why didn't they try to hold on to that ball? Sondag now has it go off of his foot into touch, and Josue Butuli, coach for the Wildcats, is going to have his hands full here. I mean, he's got a team that looked comfortable at 1-0 and now is looking at a 2-1 deficit. Ball finds the middle of the field. Johnson smartly up to it. Here's Lennertz losing his balance. He's going to give it a run. Can't quite get there. You get the sense that if the Wildcats are going to climb back into this game, they're going to need some leadership, probably from their seniors, probably from their captains.
One thing they might have to do is Matheson is really aggressive off his line. I mean, he is way off the line. They might need to think about firing some shots from distance. You know, when they get the ball on a fast opportunity, let's say around the football 25 to 20 yard line. If it's a one-on-one situation, the goalkeeper, Matheson, is coming off his line aggressively, anticipating the need to get out to the top of the box. That creates a shooting opportunity from distance where if you can pop one up, you can put it over his head, and it'll have plenty of time to come down under that crossbar and get a long goal. So hopefully Eagan adjusts for that and can start firing some longer shots in those situations and maybe take advantage of an over-aggressive Matheson.
Well, we've got an injury timeout, and honestly, this is not something you want to see at any level, and certainly in high school. You've got an injury here to a Laker. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's number 17, Carter DuBois, and he's pointed to his head. His teammates pointed to their heads as Dr. Dana Bachland came across to see to him, and his coaches are walking him carefully off the field. I did not see a major collision, but obviously there must have been some sort of collision, and hopefully it's not too serious, but never a good thing when a player needs assistance walking to the sideline. In any event, we'll restart with a throw in from the Lakers here in the corner. Lakers have not been in this position very often this year, i.e. leading a game. As Hannon Axelrod checks in for Ryan Leonards. Imagine the Lakers will be doing everything they can to slow the game down, as they're not a prolific scoring side. And they've got 2 here tonight. Newton nicely done up to it. Could not find a teammate. Sondag retrieves it here for the Wildcats. Lakers on the far side serve it in. Now trying a little back heel. Doesn't quite come off. And it is out of play into touch. We'll have a Wildcat throw. Like to see some soccer. We'll have to see some soccer IQ here from the Wildcats to, again, not rush necessarily Skip Newton, but certainly play with urgency as they do find themselves down by a goal.
Well, I was just about to say, it's possible that Buteli needs to go to the bench a little sooner, try to get a spark, and was thinking that that guy might be, number 5, Hannon Axelrod, as he's known to come in and really give 100% right from the word go. And then I look down and I see he's already in the game. So apparently I missed him coming in, but I like the move here earlier in the half that this team needs to get something going.
Prior Lake got away with an illegal throw there. The back foot clearly came up. Surprised that the referee's going to let that go. Let's see if Pasnick gets away with it again. Not that time. Didn't have to. Different kind of throw. As the ball comes scrambling in, Woodley's going to have to come off his line to play it. Wildcats not necessarily in the first half of this second half demonstrating that quick transition, demonstrating as we have a push here and a foul here against the Lakers in the first of the second half. An opportunity here for the Wildcats. Can they tee up the ball and put it into a place where Siet or Hannon Axelrod or somebody else can run onto it? Lakers have got to back up and give 10 yards. Now they do. The ball comes floating in. Finds Siet. Finds Axelrod on the back post, but he shoots right at Matheson. Axelrod did a nice job to get to the ball and steer it on net. But Matheson equal to the test as he came over and took away that near post. That's what you want if you're a Wildcat supporter. But Matheson showing that he's playing an excellent game here tonight.
That was a tough angle there for Axelrod to shoot. He almost would have to do the hockey shot and top shelf that thing. Because he had no net to shoot at from his angle, and the Matheson to cut that off perfectly.
Yeah, it would absolutely have had. It would have had to have been an absolute brilliant shot if Matheson wasn't going to either have it go between his legs or spill it over his hands. And he's certainly played well enough tonight to give you the impression that he's not going to let that happen. Now the Lakers have a kick here, free kick from the middle of the park. Nicely done that time by the Wildcats to play it away. Villasenor is now going to apply some pressure. Johnson misses it. Nicely done, broken up that time by Newton. As the ball gets hoisted forward, Siet's going to have an opportunity here. He's one-on-one, which is a good match for him. Now he goes by the first defender. Now a second defender's coming in. He slides it across. Axelrod steers it towards goal, and Axelrod is not able to throw it, get it where he wants it to be, and Matheson does a nice job of jumping up in the air, taking it away. Joseph has an opportunity. Now Villasenor with it. He's going to have an opportunity to square up. Can he get a shot off? He does, and he scores! Emilio Villasenor buries it for the Wildcats. Oh, what a brilliant strike to the low left corner. Oh, Emilio Villasenor, you're my hero. Oh, my goodness.
As he has in previous games, missing on a golden opportunity early enough to put one in afterwards. Villasenor, absolute cannon to the lower left corner. Just a brilliant shot. Matheson, zero chance as a goalkeeper. No goalkeeper can do anything about that. A huge goal for the Wildcats. Let's see if this gives them a momentum to finish strong in the last 22-plus minutes.
Villasenor, as you said, Skip Newton has had a pattern of missing an easy tap in or missing a goal that he really should, maybe a shot on frame that he should have or a goal that he should have, and he comes back and makes a brilliant play. And there he went around two defenders and did a great job of placing the ball into the low left corner. And as you say, there just wasn't an opportunity for Matheson. And if that doesn't get the Wildcats fired up, I don't know what will. Villasenor's attempted through ball is blocked and knocked down. Here's an opportunity here for Woodley to come out and play that. He does, sends it up into touch.
Scoring for the Wildcats, number 11, Emilio Villasenor. The assist to number 6, Jack Joseph.
Joseph with the assist.
In the 58th minute of the game. The time of the goal is 57.
And now Villasenor flashing all over the park. Nicely done.
Scored by Emilio Villasenor. The assist, Jack Joseph. The time 50.
Siet sends it all the way across for Hackenmuller. If Hackenmuller can flag that down, he belongs in the MLS. But I mean, that was just a brilliant ball. It's just too heavy for him.
Yeah, the right idea. He just got a little too much power behind it instead of that normal high lofting cross that you'll see from a lot of the players on the Wildcats, especially Siet and Hackenmuller.
Emilio Villasenor's first goal of the night has given the Wildcats new life here. Here's an opportunity for the Wildcats as Axelrod and Siet almost collide. Now Axelrod taken down, tackled, no call there. That's the right call. Siet now looking for opportunities. Somebody needs to give him a drop, and he finally finds Newton. Nicely done by Siet. Good job by Newton to present. Sondag is going to look for an opportunity. Now here's a run by Johnson.
There's that other push in the back, and we're finally going to get the call.
Yeah, that's a push in the back on Prouty. Check it. Prouty and Johnson from this distance look a little bit alike. Prouty's got the headband on, but at this distance it's hard to see. Hackenmuller's going to square to take this one. So there's some conflagration near the keeper. And center referee is calling Michael Johnson as he stops the clock, calling Michael Johnson and a Laker out. He's having a conversation, making sure that they understand what he's going to be watching. And that's,
oh my God,
Paskanik.
That was maybe the worst flop I've seen in high school soccer. You guys didn't see it on camera, but that was terrible. I can't believe he's getting a yellow card for that. He went down, he ran right up to the keeper, and the keeper did the worst flop I've ever seen.
Well, if I'm honest, my eyes were over on Davis Hackenmuller getting ready to take the free kick, so I did not see the yellow card on Johnson here in the 61st minute.
60th minute.
Jones will come back on. I imagine that it's not the last we've seen of Johnson. Axelrod tries to get to that ball, and it goes over the top of the net. Our apologies to our ETV viewers if you're getting any salty language from the fans just outside my window, but don't think so. But if you catch anything, not our fault, sorry. And we're going to retake this kick, and the reason we're going to retake the kick is because the referee hadn't blown his whistle to start play.
Good practice. Just give it a run,
Yep.
see how it goes. I think Hackenmiller would like to have that one back anyway. Oh, good grief.
So the center referee is going to now have a conversation with someone.
Well, the clock hasn't stopped running yet, so I'm assuming he's going to put time back
Yes, so he's
on?
putting time back on the clock. I see. Okay, so the center referee is speaking with the field marshal on the far side, what you would call the fourth official, the timekeepers. He's going to have time put back on the clock as the time apparently was running during that entire discussion. And so now for the third attempt, Hackenmiller will finally, assuming he waits for the whistle, be able to put this into play. And after a lengthy delay, Hackenmiller will put his right foot to it. Comes in and finds Prouty. Prouty gets ahead to it, but it goes behind for a goal kick. Check it. It's a corner kick, Wildcats. Oh, it's the commentator's curse. Sometimes it's just not easy for us up here in the booth to see this either. Comes in, finds Axelrod. Axelrod tries to flick it on. And that ball gets put into touch safely that time by the Lakers. And what started as a dominant Eagan performance, watch the Lakers come back, and now the Eagan Wildcats have stolen that momentum back as that's flicked on by Derek Seat. Derek Seat upset that nobody got to that, or upset that a foul wasn't called. I'm not sure which. But Axelrod finds Villasenor, the goal scorer earlier, and that's a beautiful deflection. Finds Hannon Axelrod. Axelrod into the middle. Got bodies falling everywhere. And Matheson alertly off his line. Nicely done by Matheson. But there were multiple opportunities there for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that was a frenzy of activity in front of the goal. Unfortunately, did not result in a great shot. I think Siet was upset that his teammates weren't there for that cross, but it turns out he just hit it too strong. They had all come in really close.
The Wildcats certainly need to maintain their defensive pressure here. As Joseph delays on it, now he's going to have to recover. Does a nice job of kicking that ball, and I think that's going to go out over for it's a goal kick. Oh, interesting. I thought that might go for a corner, but it's going to be for a goal kick.
Yeah, there was a little miscommunication there between Joseph and one of the other Wildcat players as Joseph hesitated defensively, thought the Wildcat player was going to come up and play it. When he didn't, then Joseph tried to recover. Kudos to him for actually getting as close as he did, but bailed out a little bit. I too expected that to be a corner.
Joseph chips that ahead looking for Seat. Seat gets it down to his feet. Lays it off that time for Prouty. Prouty back to Seat. Seat's pass intercepted there by the Lakers coming back. Nicely done that time by Prior Lake. And I think the throw, we're going to have a substitution here. The Prior Lake fans not happy that throw went blue rather than white. Johnson's going to come back in for Prouty now. So Jones will stay in the game as Johnson returns. Not sure. It almost looks like Josue Butuli has got two defensive midfielders. Skip. It almost looks like both Johnson and, in this situation, both Johnson and Mikolo Jones are both playing kind of a defensive midfield in front of the back line, but in any event. Joseph with it. Quick feet. Finds Johnson. Johnson scrambles it over to Seat. Oh, Seat's pass intercepted. Here's an opportunity for the Lakers as they send it forward. Redland making a nice run. Woodley plays it out, but it's taken by the Lakers. It was deflected on the way in. And the ball's going to go into touch for a Wildcat throw.
Yep, absolutely. Redland kicked that off of the attacking forward there. Well played by Redland. Good team defense by Eagan overall back there. Nothing really got in on Woodley that was too dangerous.
Well, this game is definitely, since the second goal by the Wildcats, this game has taken on a frantic, absolutely frantic pace. The ball gets served well over the top of everyone. Woodley's going to come out and play that. Hammer that down the field. I think Axelrod's going to earn the foul there. There's a collision. I thought Axelrod might be coming back from an offside position, but apparently not. In any event, it is a collision. It is a free kick for the Wildcats.
I think if anybody might have been in that over and back offside position, it would have been Derek, but that ball went over to Axelrod. A good opportunity here. Johnson typically very good at placing this ball where he wants it. Do we have a booking? Did I miss that?
I think so, yeah.
There it is.
Yep,
Okay.
there it is. Okay. Yep, number 40 for the Lakers. Lane 4 is going to get a caution here in the 65th minute.
Yellow card caution issued against Prior Lake. Number 40, lane 4. The time of the yellow card is 64:06.
Johnson's going to stand over this. Now we're going to have to see if Johnson can summon up some quality to look for an opportunity for his teammates.
He doesn't want to get this too close to the goal. We know Matheson is aggressive coming off the line. He's already starting to itch towards the 6th and taking steps right now towards it.
There's a mad scramble in front. It's cleared away that time by the Lakers. Smartly done. That was a good opportunity for the Wildcats. Smartly done by all the Laker defenders. I'm not sure Matheson ever touched the ball, but his defense were sturdy that time. I like the creative play there, finding Newton as Redland's got an opportunity. Hackenmuller, he's got an opportunity down around the side. And he's going to earn the throw. You wonder how, at 1-0 and in relatively comfortable control, you wonder if Josue Butuli has one view of the game, but now with 2-2 and it's obviously a tight affair. I wonder how the substitution pattern might change here in the second half, Skip Newton.
Yeah, he does like to clear his bench at the end of the first half. Not quite the same at the second half. Of course, that depends on how the game is going.
Nice job by Newton there, staying after that ball. It's intercepted, but I think we're going to have a foul. Yeah, we're going to have a foul here on the Lakers.
That's a great step up there by Alex. He's kind of walking off the foul there, but nice job as he's the final guy back. Needed to step up and win that ball. If it gets by him, that could have been trouble.
Hackenmuller will take this, try to send it in on goal. Nicely done. Flick on. Didn't quite come off that time for the Wildcats as Mikolo Jones is going to give chase. Falls for Hackenmuller again. Hackenmuller's going to send it forward again. Here's an opportunity for Siet. Siet's in an offside position. Oh, unlucky that time by Siet. Did not know if Hannon Axelrod was offside, but Siet was judged to be offside by the assistant referee. Unlucky that time for Derek Siet.
Another great delivery by Davis Hackenmuller. Pretty much putting that ball where he wants it almost every time.
Nice shoulder-to-shoulder challenge there. Jack Joseph steps in and cleans that up. Pops out to the center of the field, and ooh! Mikolo Jones taken down there. Everybody just has to untangle there. Nothing in that, just boys coming together. Played quickly that time by the Wildcats. Hackenmuller with an opportunity. He's down 2-on-2. Now he makes a run to the end line. Hackenmuller's going to foul that negative, and it's in! The side netting! It's in the side netting. Oh my goodness, it looked like it was in for a moment, but it did go side netting.
Boy, a nice bang-bang play there. An awesome run by Hackenmuller. Looked to find Siet near the near post. Just couldn't quite tuck it inside.
credit to Matheson covering that near post. I mean, he obviously had the position he needed. This ball gets played down into the corner. Now it gets sent over. Woodley off his line. Nicely done and smartly done, as Redland was in a little bit of distress. Wildcats showing a little bit of quality, Skip Newton, in the last couple of minutes here that we saw really in the first half in terms of quick decisions, quick passes, unselfish play, going to goal. All of those things that we liked about the first half. The last 3 or 4 minutes have been that.
Whatever they took at halftime to kind of fall asleep for the beginning of the second half, they've clearly woken up from that. Yeah, they look much more intense now. Obviously, the game-tying second goal is a huge thing there, the momentum swinging back in the favor of the blue. But would love to see them, continue to leverage that intensity and see if they can't get another couple of really good scoring chances.
The Prior Lake Lakers have not had, only twice this year have they scored more than 2 goals. And so they typically don't score a lot. As you said earlier in the broadcast, they typically don't score a lot of goals. As Axelrod gets sent to the turf, and he's absolutely going to earn it, as there's the push in the back. Axelrod got run over. Laker fans, Prior Lake fans, not happy, but contact from behind is going to earn, or should earn, a foul every time, whether it's Eagan or Prior Lake doing it. It's taken quickly. Here's an opportunity for the Wildcats. Oh, and he shoots it wide. Oh, my goodness. Emilio Villasenor took the kick was taken quickly. Smartly done. And I guess when there's a real opportunity, if you take it quickly and there's an opportunity and you make something of it, then it's a good idea. If you don't, then it's a bad idea. But that time I had no problem with him taking it quickly. Villasenor had a clean shot on net. Really should have been on frame.
Yeah, he was shooting for that far post and just got it too far outside. Of course, he feels like he should have nicked his second goal of the game. Maybe that'll bode well for the final 10 minutes here. Is usually when he feels like he should have had one, then he gets one later. It's already happened once tonight. There's no reason it can't happen twice in one game.
We're going to have a foul on the far side of the pitch. Hackenmuller is going to take this one, as Hackenmuller earned the foul. Hackenmuller is going to serve this in. Boy, this is a very, very enticing position for the Wildcats. Ball comes in, finds Redland, goes off of Redland and out for a goal kick.
Prior Lake had all 11 of their players inside the box there. There was nobody even near the 18, past the 18. It was all defense there. You could have almost played that out short to the last defender back and reposition that shot from a different angle.
Joseph showing off his aerial skills there. Doesn't win the ball, but certainly puts the Lakers under some pressure. Lakers hoisting it forward. Now it's 3-on-3. Step there by Newton. It's going to find Sondag. Sondag watching defensively now. Lakers square and try to get it on net, and it goes off of Sondag for a corner.
Nice defense by Sondag over there, keeping his guy to the outside, not letting that cross get in front of the net. Unfortunately, just deflects off of him, but still solid defensive effort there by the right back defender.
So it'll be an out-swinging left footer.
Kick is from the far side. Leon Cuellar, number 19.
The ball's going to go well over everyone to the back post. Finds Joseph. Joseph squares. Nicely done. Comes down into the corner. It's going to be sent towards net. And Woodley, nicely done, smartly comes down as Axelrod and Siet both screaming for the ball as they'd like to transition.
Yeah, I would have appreciated maybe a quicker punt here by Woodley. He had unlike Prior Lake, who brought all 11 of their guys back, Siet and Axelrod were both out at the midfield stripe, and it was a 2-on-3. I'll take those odds.
Redland's through ball goes through but doesn't find anybody, at least in a blue jersey. And that it's going to be offside against the Lakers. Their second offsides of the second half, and the Laker faithful getting a little bit restless, unhappy as we approach 7 minutes to go. We're going to have some substitutions at the next dead ball out of bounds. Redland's going to hoist this forward, looking for See It. See It tries to flick it on goal. Doesn't quite get there, but Jack Joseph steps up from his back position. Villasenor finds it. Villasenor lays it off for Miklo Jones. A collision there by an odd collision on the far side between Jones and one of the Lakers. I could not tell. I think they might both be getting cautions. Well, Jones is certainly getting a caution here in the 73rd minute.
Caution issued against the Wildcats, 19 Miklo Jones.
I think the call there is maybe he was holding on to him as he was trying to run for the ball. I can't think of anything else that could have been.
Well, and both players were in, and again, it's on the far side of the field. It's harder for us to see from here, but both players, it was a very awkward exchange, no question about that. And I couldn't quite understand. It looked like both players had a piece of each other, so to speak. But certainly, center referee Noel Vang had a better view than we did and judged the cautionable offense against Miklo Jones. Ball finds Davis Hackenmuller's forehead. Now it's chipped ahead by the Lakers as Newton puts his head to it. He's going to safely do this in the corner and does a nice job of earning the throw. Smart play by Alex Newton not to concede the deep throw to the Lakers. This ball falls nicely. Nicely done for the Wildcats. Here's Hackenmuller, or excuse me, that's Villasenor down the side. Gets it on his right foot. Now it switches to the left foot. Here's an opportunity for See It. See It with his left foot. Just couldn't scoop it in. Oh, you see the frustration on Derek See It's face. He's a little frustrated because he knows that he wanted more on that. He did everything he could to create the opportunity. Redland finds Joseph. And Prouty's not able to get to that. And Woodley will claim.
Yeah, usually Derek See It's much more patient when he's down there in those situations. He's so calm under pressure when he has a chance to score. That one he may have rushed it just a little bit.
It's a great run by by Hackenmuller. He's going to battle there in the corner. Ball's going to get sent towards the sideline. Prouty serves it in, looking for Axelrod. Axelrod has to spin and go back the other direction.
Oh, he's offside. Yeah, I wondered that. He got pulled in way too close to the goal.
That's one of the things that Axelrod can certainly improve in his game is his awareness. You know, unlucky that time, but obviously being in his position, he's got the speed to go by someone, but he's going to have to make sure he's paying attention to that back line.
And really from, he's on the near side, the ball's coming from the far side. He has everything in front of him, right? He can see the goal, he can see the defenders, he can see the ball. He's in a perfect spot to put himself in a position to receive that. It's just unfortunate he got a little too anxious.
Good step there by Redland. Finds See It. Didn't quite come off for him. Johnson's going to come flying over. And that ball's going to be chipped up and over the top. It's going to land for Redland, who uses his long legs and speed there to earn the throw. I think that's going to be it's going to be a Prior Lake throw. Wasn't sure exactly which way that one was going to go. The assistant referee in the center had to confer on that. It's going to go off the head of Redland. I think that's going to be a goal kick.
Yeah, he headed it off of the Prior Lake player. Well done.
Wildcat boys and girls soccer booster clubs would like to thank their gold sponsors: and Stars Mediterranean Grill, Rami Cormon at Colwell Banker, Denise Schoberg at Keller Williams Elite Feet Soccer, Orze Poke and Ramen, Teresa's Mexican Restaurant, ZZQ Barbecue, Birchwood Dental, Devani's Divine Salon, Escape With Us Vacations, Union Fit MN, Sam's Club, and Zerbel Orthodontics. Thank you to all of our gold sponsors. Number of headers there as the Wildcats and Lakers managed to knock that ball around. Here's an opportunity as Melvin Camaro, who's freshly checked into the game, is running that ball down. Nicely done. Camaro tries to go around, and unlucky there that made a nice move, but the ball did come off of him apparently into touch. So Kamara taking Hackenmuller has switched to the other side. So Kamara took Axelrod's place. As this ball comes up over the top, and Newton will give chase. Newton shields the ball away. Nicely done by Alex Newton. Finds his teammate Daniel Redlin. Redlin runs into a little bit of resistance. Kamara's going to try to make the run around the end. He does. Serves it in towards Siet. Siet can't quite. Oh, here's an opportunity. Oh, what a great shot by Villasenor, and even a better stop by Matheson. That had to be an excellent save. Villasenor did a nice job. Siet's layoff was absolutely brilliant. Joseph hoists it forward, finds Siet. It's a dummy as Siet lets it drop. Villasenor runs onto it. He's got an opportunity, puts a right foot to it, hits the football uprights. Oh, unlucky that time for Emilio Villasenor. But he is one of those players. The way he's playing tonight, Skip Newton, you want him shooting, and you don't want him passing on opportunities.
He's creating. He's just creating opportunities out there. The teammates are sensing it too, right? They're starting to set him up. They know that he's got it going tonight and he's feeling it. Hopefully they can get it down there again for another opportunity in the last couple minutes.
Newton puts that into touch. We're going to have a substitution here for the Lakers. And we have seen a shorter bench this half here for the Wildcats, as Coach Boutali has kept a number of his reserves on the bench. And that's put into touch rather harmlessly by the Lakers. Sondag's going to hoist that forward, look for Villasenor, finds Villasenor's foot with a lovely touch. Then Villasenor turns and sprays that ball forward. Now he gets it back. We all love a redemption story, and here's Villasenor who plays it inside for Prouty. Prouty takes a big touch. Now he's dispossessed. Prouty needs to win that ball back.
1 minute remaining in the second half. 1 minute.
1 minute remaining in the second half. We will have an overtime period if this game ends up tied at the end of regulation. Goes out of play, and we will have a Prior Lake throw. Played away nicely and smartly that time by Redlin. Derek Siet's 1-on-2. Actually, check it. He's more like he's 1-on-3. He's going to give that a chase. Derek Siet's got an opportunity to win this ball. He does, almost. Now he almost gets it back, and now it's played out. Oh, Derek Siet with a magnificent effort, physical effort. The ball gets played in. Now it goes for a corner. Wildcats have 10 seconds left. They can't take much time. Everybody needs to pack the box. Opportunity for the Wildcats, as Matheson claims.
Too close to the goalkeeper there. We got to keep those corners away from the six because Matheson has proven he will come out aggressively. Unfortunately, the Wildcats can't get that miracle finish.
Well, I'll give the Wildcats a little bit of rope there. I mean, when there's less than 10 seconds left and you hear the countdown going from the stadium announcer, you serve it in as quickly as possible and hopefully something good happens. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have extra time. Now, there's going to be a 5-minute break, a 5-minute rest period for the teams to get hydrated and to recover, to set their plans, and then we will have 2 5-minute extra time periods with no break in between. Each team they'll switch ends, and each team will get an opportunity to kick off. The full 10 minutes will be played. In other words, this is not a golden goal situation. If someone scores, you will continue to play the remaining 10 minutes. So if someone scores in the first couple of minutes, the next 8 minutes there will be a frantic scramble from the other team to try to get another goal back.
Reset to 5 minutes, the teams will quickly change ends, and then the second 5 minutes.
Let me give a shout out to our award-winning ETV crew who's bringing you the sights and sounds here at Wildcat Stadium. Our director is Sarah Paulus, and our camera people are Michelle Nielsen and Nick Mudd. Thank you so much to our crew that makes us look so good, and make sure you pay attention to ETV's website and their Twitter feed to make sure you're up on what's going on in terms of section playoff broadcasts. And of course, hockey season is not too far around the corner, and so we'll have boys and girls Wildcat hockey for you as well. And of course, on Friday night is at 7 o'clock is the homecoming football game between the Eagan Wildcats and the Hopkins Royals. Wildcats coming off that big victory against the Eastview Lightning last week. And the Royals from Hopkins did end up losing to the Wildcats last year. So, I mean, idea being that the Wildcats certainly should expect to be competitive in that football game. Some other sports, pay attention to the ETV website as well as the EHS website. There's some other sports here as well. I honestly don't remember off the top of my head the next volleyball engagement, but volleyball is also at it, and the runners for cross country will be having their sections here in a couple of weeks. In any event, the shots on goal are fairly lopsided, at least on the scoreboard. They're fairly lopsided. By my count, I've got something close to this, but officially 19-6. But Matheson has absolutely been man of the match here for the Lakers, doing an excellent job of keeping the Wildcats out of the net. There have been 3 or 4 opportunities that I think if Matheson isn't up to the challenge, the Wildcats are walking away with maybe a 4-2 or 5-2 win here, Skip Newton. And so the question remains, what will the Wildcats have to do here in this extra time period? I mean, we saw them get back to their ways in the second half of what they did well in the first half, but what else can they do? What else do they need to do?
They need to keep the intensity up. They need to keep the pressure on, and they need to keep firing shots. I mean, they've already proven they've beaten them a couple of times. They can do it again. They've had some close misses. Clearly, Matheson has played an outstanding game, and he's been tough to beat. He's kept them in this ballgame. It should be over. We should have at least 4 goals, like you said. But it's 2-2. I mean, we're in the game. We had a little bit of a defensive lapse there where we gave up a couple, but then the defense locked down. At the last 20 minutes of the half, they got back to the way they were playing in the entire first half. So if the defense can keep that going, we should be in good shape to rebound offensively and just keep attacking and look to fire some shots. The one long shot, the goal we got from Villaseñor was when he was able to work it, in between the football hashes, and he had a good angle, and he put one in the corner. We need to see more of that. The tough angle shots have been really, really tough for the Wildcats, but man, if we can get it in front of the net, we got a great opportunity.
Well, going into this extra time period, we have just about a minute left before we're in the extra time period, or the extra time period is supposed to kick off. But I guess the question on Wildcat supporters' minds is Coach Boutali going to make any changes? I mean, are you going to make any changes to what was out there? Are you going to bring in any new players? Are you going to change I would say formation, but maybe the instructions to the players on the bench? What's that going to look like? What are they going to do that's going to give them an opportunity to be successful?
They get the break here, the 5 minutes between regulation and overtime. I suspect that we're going to see pretty much the same group of guys that were out there to either start the half or end the half. It was a thin bench there, really only subbing at midfield and forward. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the strategy through at least the first 5 minutes of overtime, and then see what happens after that. If a goal is scored, that could potentially change things. If we can get a lead, we might go with some more defensive-minded players. But they need to keep that intensity up. They really lost it there for a while and allowed Prior Lake to get their 2 goals. But then they came back. They got the game tired. They just need the go-ahead goal. I would really like to see the Wildcats put the pressure on and at least feel good walking off the stadium that they gave it everything they had.
You get the sense that we'll know in the first couple of minutes of this extra time period. If the Wildcats come out and play excellent soccer, if they're intense, they're physical, they're doing all the things they've been successful at doing, you get a sense that they'll be okay. If they come out and they're flat or passive or reactionary and not delivering the play and carrying the play to the Lakers, then I think they're going to be in real trouble. So in any event, Lakers will be going from right to left, wearing the white, Wildcats in blue. And the first of our 5-minute periods will kick off as soon as Nural Vang blows his whistle, and there he goes. It's going to be hoisted forward that time by the Lakers. Finds Kamara. Kamara sends it forward for Siet. Wildcats may, interesting, do the Wildcats fall into the same kind of pattern of the Lakers, which is just play it forward and run onto it, play it forward and run onto it? Or are they able to get back to their ways of controlling the ball, possessing the ball, and looking for little flicks and opportunities? We'll have to see. Here's Derek Siet, senior captain, in the far corner. Serves it in towards Villasenor. It falls for Hackenmuller. Hackenmuller just sends it on to Matheson. He's frustrated, and he should be, because he had an opportunity to really tee that up. I think he had more time than he thought he had.
Well, and it was a curious shot by Hackenmuller. Usually he really hammers the ball when he gets it on his right foot, and there he was trying to finesse it as if he were a lot closer, or if he had a player he was passing it to. I'm not really sure what the strategy was there. Hopefully this is not a bad injury. It's another Laker player. The concern I have is that Siet stuck around to see what was going on. Usually you don't see that, so it's almost like Derek is concerned as well.
Well, there's certainly, I think that was and forgive me, I cannot pick up his number, and I'm happy to see him up on his feet even if he's not 100%, but I think he and Siet came together on that inline as Siet served it across with his left foot.
That's number 13 there, Hewlett.
Perhaps it was on the follow-through with the service or something of that nature. In any event, Siet showing concern for a competitor, which is, again, regardless of the result of the game, is the kind of player, the kind of young man that you want to raise as a parent and and you want as part of your crew, your team and your program.
One thing we haven't seen from the Wildcats on their attack is, getting the ball up close to the box, and instead of constantly trying to turn and shoot, dropping that back for someone behind, one of the midfielders, like a Mike Johnson stepping up, or a Prouty stepping up and firing a 25 to 30 yarder. They have the leg to do it. That could be a different strategy, especially with Mathis so aggressively coming off his line.
Restart with the drop ball to Matheson. Matheson's going to send that forward. Flicked towards goal. And nicely done by Woodley as Sondag played that back to Woodley. For a moment, you wondered if Sondag had made a poor choice, but Woodley alertly plays that out and puts it into touch near the half line.
And I got to believe they're communicating the whole way, right? Woodley knew exactly he was going to pass it back. He's probably telling them, you got me. So they're playing together. They're working together.
A little collision there between Redlin and Woodley.
It's a great job by Redlin, though, to keep himself between Woodley and the attacking Prior Lake forward. That is one of the golden rules as a defensive player. You never let that attacker in on your goalkeeper. You always stay between the two. Protect your goalkeeper at all costs.
Joseph puts that into touch. And the Lakers will have an opportunity. The deep throw in. Kamara flicks that towards touch and does make it out. So another Laker throw. So far, hard to get a read on this half. To have the Wildcats come out with the proper amount of intensity, hard to tell as that goes for a goal kick.
Goal kick, Wildcats.
Neither team showing a lot of prowess at the moment.
A lot of the clock has run off in this first overtime without the ball being in motion.
Back of Prouty's head. Now it lands for Kamara. Can Kamara create for someone else? Ball comes flying through, knocks a Laker down. We have another Laker who's injured on the far side.
Back a stop, injury on the field.
Was that off of the header, maybe a head-to-head? I didn't see it.
It was behind the play. It looked like it was behind the play, and didn't look like it. Just looked like two players coming together. It looked like maybe the players got the wind knocked out of him. From what I can tell from this distance. Another Prior Lake Laker having to be helped off the field.
Yeah, number 11.
That's Castillo, who had the assist on the Kohler goal in the 46th minute. So certainly the Lakers don't want to see any more injuries as this extra time period is going to run out. Nope. Going to keep running, and the referee curiously dropping the ball back there to the Lakers. I thought the Wildcats were in possession of that, but in any event, nicely done that time by Sondag, sending that forward for Hackenmuller. The Wildcats will have a throw as Hackenmuller will try to take it quickly. Looking for See It. See It doing a nice job holding it on to his right foot. Nice play by Prouty. Prouty flashes a little bit of fancy foot skills. Here's an opportunity for Villasenor. Here's an opportunity. It's in the back of the net. Check it. It was Jack Joseph. It was Jack Joseph on the layoff. Joseph in the 84th minute.
A great run there by Joseph up from his left defensive position, coming all the way up and finding the back of the net. A huge goal for the Wildcats.
Oh, what a magnificent layoff by See It. I mean, the ball comes into him, and he sees Joseph. He hears Joseph, and See It lays it off brilliantly. And Joseph, to his credit, didn't try to dribble, didn't try to do a lot with it. He just hammered it in. And Matheson, who's been so stout through so much of this game, in fact, you'd say if this ended in a draw, you'd say he's man of the match. Just not able to stop that one as Joseph left no doubt.
Scoring for the Wildcats, number 6, Jack Joseph.
It's an opportunity here for the Lakers. It's going to be Joseph coming back for it. Joseph's going to heave that towards the midline. Nicely done that time by Joseph.
Yeah, great team defense there. Redlin was on his guy, had cut him off. Joseph came over to pick up the loose ball.
1 minute remaining in the first 5 minutes of overtime. 1 minute.
And you imagine that the Wildcats will, given that they have gone up in this extra time period, you imagine that their strategy will change. Not necessarily sitting back. I think that would be probably a mistake, but how you play safely, winning things, being smart, as Woodley comes out and claims it. Nicely done. While the Lakers may have been in an offside position, as Woodley's going to take his time. If he's got to adjust his shin pads or bounce the ball a couple of times, he can. Woodley puts it into motion. It's going to find touch. About 20 seconds to go, and again, will the Wildcats, you have high soccer IQ, take their opportunities, shield the ball off, be conservative, make sure they make the safe play. As this ball comes in towards the edge of the 18, served in, blocked that time by Joseph. Nicely done. And we've reached the end of the first extra time period. Now the teams will switch ends, and we will play an additional 5 minutes. But Jack Joseph giving the lead to the Wildcats in the 84th minute. And to see Jack Joseph, who spent many, many years as a defender and playing defense for many, many years, but not always having that offensive side of his game. This year he's really come out of his shell. He's been effective offensively. He's served in opportunities, he's created opportunities, and he's put them home.
Yeah, the formation really requires that your outside defenders make runs to become part of the attack, and Joseph has been the prime example of that all season long, just aggressively going up and picking his time so wisely, showing why he's a senior and one of the leaders on the team, because he has that experience and has that ability. And it finally paid dividends here with a goal, and a huge goal at that. We'll see if the Wildcats now can use that smart soccer IQ that you like to refer to, and can they play a good, smart final 5 minutes to get this victory home.
Well, here's Hackenmuller. Here's an opportunity for Hackenmuller to maintain possession of the ball. I thought for a moment he was dispossessed. Hackenmuller slicing in. The ball goes behind for a corner. Now, will the Wildcats, for instance, here's a great opportunity. Will the Wildcats stand on this ball in the corner, or will they try to play it in and try to score another goal? Looks like Hackenmuller's going to stand on it and try to play it in.
Just an outstanding individual run there by Hackenmuller. I mean, just a burst of speed.
He looked like he was dispossessed, Skip. He looked like he was dispossessed, but then came up with it. Ball gets played in. Matheson punches it away. Brilliantly done that time by the keeper. Attempted a bit of a spin Maradona there. Comes back for Hackenmuller, who serves it in. He's looking for Kamara in the middle of the pitch. Can't find it. That ball's going to make it into touch.
Kamara got pulled just a little bit too far in. That was a great ball across. He'd have been in an awesome position, and he held back just a little bit. It's a tough judgment call. You don't go far enough in, and then you're not in the right position. You go far enough in, and all of a sudden the guy puts it over your head.
Lakers let that go out for a goal kick. I like the idea of Joseph, making sure Joseph comes up and takes that throw, playing it down into the corner. Would have liked to see Kamara have more physical contact, try to shield that ball away. Johnson with a great header. Is Siet going to come up with this? He is. He's got an opportunity. That ball is going to be sent out for a corner. Siet takes a bit of a knock there.
Oh, just a wonderful step and play there by Johnson. Fantastic effort.
Siet adjusting his gear. I don't think he's injured. I think he's just adjusting his gear.
Injury on the field.
Yeah, he's fine.
Well, he's just adjusting his gear. He's not injured. Referee really should have checked on Siet first before he blew his whistle. As Siet was just adjusting his gear, and we're going to see Hackenmuller, I think, here from the corner. Check it. That Hackenmuller with an in-swinging right footer. Joseph going to play it short. Joseph should be taking it down into the corner. Instead, he's going to go towards goal, and it's going to be out of play. Forgive me, Skip Newton, but it seemed like the smart play there was to have we had two Wildcats in the corner by themselves. They could have stood on that ball for another 30 seconds.
Yeah, at least wasted a little more time. Oh, there's a great play by Kamara.
So Kamara, here's another great example. Is he going to take possession of the ball? He finds Villasenor. Prouty cleaned out. No call there. It was a good tackle. But the Lakers break. Wildcats have to get back now on defense as Hackenmuller gets dumped to the turf. Now, I think Newton comes up and plays that well down deep into the Laker end.
Another nice step up there by Newton.
But again, I'm just confused. I mean, again, Kamara has an opportunity to go down and waste 20 seconds. Joseph has an opportunity to waste 20 seconds. I'd like to see them do that. Here's an opportunity for Kamara. He should be going to the – I just can't understand why he's not going to the corner.
Or at least be patient, right? Wait until they force you to do something. But, yeah, play it down to the corner and see what happens.
Possessing the ball right now for the Wildcats is the number one thing they can do. If they possess the ball, they will win the game. Instead, they keep shooting the ball and giving it back to the Lakers.
I mean, the other strategy is if you score a fourth goal, then the game's really over.
It's a lot easier simply to stand on the ball and possess it than it is to score another goal when the keeper's playing like he's playing tonight. Redland's going to send that back down towards the other end. We're nearing 1 minute to go here in the match. Kamara gets a deflection. Johnson finds it.
Oh, that's a great fake.
Johnson's going to send that forward. He's going to lay it off. Siet lays it off for Villasenor. Siet, can Siet chip it over Matheson? No, he doesn't. Matheson again to the defensive pump. It's played back in that time by the Lakers. Finds Redland. Redland's going to do his best to send that over to the side. Nicely done that time. Hackenmuller with it. He's going to take it down into the corner.
I was going to say, if anybody will go to the corner, it'll be Hackenmuller.
There he is.
Well
and look
played.
At that. Hackenmuller's going to stand on that in the corner, try to maintain possession of it. And now with three defenders, Hackenmuller gets dumped. Hackenmuller gets dumped inside the penalty area. And you get a sense that maybe might have been a foul, and now we're going to have another foul. I think that's going to be on Prouty. Check it. I think that's going to be a yellow card caution for for Blake Prouty.
Oh, I don't know. You can card his dad too.
Well, we'll have to see about that. In any event, Blake Prouty's going to get a booking. 17 seconds to go. If the Wildcats can get to this ball first and put it back down into the Laker end, you imagine the game will be over.
Yeah, winning this ball and booting it downfield ends the game.
Just have to win the ball. Nicely
go.
done. There's Johnson.
Nice.
Nicely done again by Johnson. Johnson sends it forward. Here's an opportunity. This is Villasenor. He's going to shoot from distance. And Matheson, as he has all night, makes a nice save on it on a long shot. And the Prior Lake Lakers push the Wildcats as much as the Wildcats could be pushed tonight after being in comfortable control of the first half, really dominating the first half, giving away 2 goals in the second half, early in the second half, but then recovering to tie the game and win the game in extra time by a score of 3-2. Wildcats have now done things in back-to-back games that they haven't done all season. They've come from behind, they've taken a lead, gone behind, and then won the game. So Skip Newton, I mean, in terms of development, in terms of growth, in terms of where this team is positioned heading into the section quarterfinals next week, understanding they've got 2 more games to go, isn't this really where the team really wants to be?
Absolutely. You took the words right out of my mouth. The confidence that you gain getting a couple of come-from-behind wins is absolutely huge. That gives Coach Butali another weapon in his arsenal to say, hey, guys, we're down 1-0 at half, let's say. No worries. We've come from behind before. We've proven we can do it. They're going to have the confidence they can do that. And confidence as an athlete and as a team is huge. And they're starting to gain that. It's their 5th consecutive game in their unbeaten streak. 3 huge points. I'm really excited that they were able to come back and do this. Well played by the Wildcats. Just an outstanding overall team effort.
Well, it was an outstanding team effort, and we're going to see the Derek Siet backflip, which we have not seen very often yet this year. But nonetheless, it would always be nice to see that a little bit more. But he only does that when he's scoring certain types of goals, and we just haven't seen enough of those goals this year. Maybe we'll see him coming up. And don't forget, we will have these Wildcat boys on Saturday at 10 o'clock on ETV as they take on the replay with Lakeville South. And then, of course, keep your eye on the schedule for next week for the section quarterfinals. Hopefully we will be bringing you both boys and girls Eagan soccer action. For our award-winning ETV crew, for Skip Newton, my name is Nathan Cron. Thank you for joining us here at Eagan High School. Your final score, the Eagan Wildcats 3, the Prior Lake Lakers 2. Good night, everybody.